Good morning. It's almost 5 o'clock. I just seen the video where the police killed that mentally ill man, and I knew it was going to be a black woman that called on her child, and I'm sorry, and my condolences. I'm real sorry that black people really think that the police is there to help you. I watched the video. To me, if they say that guy's not guilty of murder, because the guy was laying down, he's like this, he's frozen. You know what I'm saying? If he couldn't walk over to him and just take it out of his hand, or just do anything that, you know what I'm saying? That, to me, from me seeing it from the police camera, he just blatantly murdered that child. There was no reason for him to start shooting. I don't care if he did have a screwdriver. Like I said, when I came out of the mental institution, supposedly drug-free, but I started working, which, kept me sort of busy there, and I was working with people like him. There's all different levels, and like I said, like in the case of some people, bipolar just means that you were doing a drug and with a, like there's a bunch of ways to be bipolar, but most of them just means now you have a secondary so you have the original one that maybe it's generics, or maybe it's a social, or just maybe it's just sort of a common type of mental disease that everybody in that community has. Yours is just heightened through physical abuse, so either sexual or punching or hitting of some sort, whooping. That's what they call it, whooping, or some type of groping. And then when you introduce any type of drug, you have a secondary response also from that drug. Is a lot of times they say they call it the side effect. If you ever read the description, it'll talk about side effects, and that's the secondary. And a lot of times that a person will, like, say they just have one cirrhosis cirrhosis of the brain. God forbid. Anyway, and then they have one already illness. That they could still work, and there's a lot of people that are schizoid or whatever. They're billionaires that work every single day. They just hadn't had any. They just had a good education, and they had probably very strong parents during their teen years. But anyway, and then so you could be like, say you're schizoid and you do cocaine. Okay, that change. So then you have the cocaine behavior already mixed. And so then you have what they call bipolar. Rarely have I read anything in the medical journal where you have somebody that's bipolar that's not due to some type of drug, either psych meds or pain pills, or street drugs, usually cocaine, heroin, or one of the opiums causes the biggest reactions. Drinking that syrup those kids drink, the codeine, like Robitussin with the codeine in it and stuff like that. Because if you ever notice, like sometimes when people drink alcohol, after let's say the third shot, you'll notice a behavior change, and that is the same thing you would have with like Seroquel, Quaaludes, Percocets. You have a secondary reaction, just as you do in the alcohol once it enters your system. Now, and so anyway, I had a similar thing. A guy, he had he was severely he was psychotic. He was severely damaged from sexual abuse at age, I think it was his sexual abuse started started immediately, let's just say, as a baby, and then and physical abuse because of the natural acting out from the sexual abuse. Because this is the only information I gave this kid, and the secondary only information I gave this kid was the whooping. So anyway, now he's like over 21, so he wanted to sue because he he got also physical abuse in the mental institution. You know, all because he's so handsome, and of course his communication skills are very poor, and I never understood a word he was saying, but anyway, so he was having a fit this one time, so I showed up. I remember rereading the reports they had previous done on him, and he acted out before, but the key word to all of them is they're not violent. Now they have been struck and whooped, so their first response is to strike, like swat it away. Not, what I'm saying, where like that a policeman might see that behavior, if you're not empathizing with, like if that happened, if you was in that situation, if you can't empathize like that, if you can't take your own selfish, narrow, hateful ways out of the situation just for a second, but anyway, so basically you don't say gimme, 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 you know what I'm saying, because that doesn't make that, gimme, they're gonna give it to you like this, because because he had a knife in his hand and he's running around butt naked. I just told him to drop the knife and go to his room, and couldn't get to the pharmacy until the morning, so like they weren't going to deliver his meds until the morning, which just pretty much makes him comatose, which is so and now like his functioning there, it's just not appropriate anyway, on the drugs or off the drugs. It's not that he's a danger to anybody else, but his behavior can be perceived as somebody that doesn't take a few minutes just to think. But that policeman, from my view, I know they're going to say, oh, he was justified. There was no justification. His life was not in danger. And surely when that boy was laying on the ground, I had to cut it off because he's yelling at him. And I thought, oh my God, this guy is truly a hateful fucking moron who doesn't have the fucking common sense God gave him. That he murdered him. And if that's what Darren Wilson did and those other cops did in the past, that is actually murder. You are witnessing a murder. You're listening to you know what I'm saying, and it's insulting, as an American citizen, that type of policing is going on. It's a damn shame. It's an abomination. And if we don't fix this justice system, if we don't have the GOPs cooperating to keep our Constitution and our civil rights in this United States, and they think that that's the type of policing that's going to benefit us in the future, by what? Putting everybody in jail and shooting anybody because you have an IQ of 50? We need to fix our schools, and we need to fix them now, and we need to explain to these policemen that if you kill someone and they're dead, you have murdered them. It doesn't matter what excuse. It doesn't matter. If the person ceased to live and you caused their death, that makes you a murderer. So there's not another word for it. But I'm sure some white racist ass, leftist ass, punk ass, fascist bitch could figure out a way. Don't forget to whoop your kids. The policeman murdered that boy. And you being an ignorant ass, racist, punk ass, fascist policeman is no fucking excuse for murder.